All right, folks, we are back here at the Central 10 Conference track meet, and we are ready for our final session of the day. We got just a little bit late of a delay coming back, but here we are, and we are into the finals of the girls' 100-meter hurdles. Keeping an eye on lane 4 with Kayla Bockel, I do believe. She came in with the fastest seed time of 15:09 and did not disappoint in her prelim run. And there she goes, Kayla Bockel of Grand Island's Northwest High School out with the lead. Aurora's Tristan Kinsey running second. And I think that was Seward there in lane 3 with a third-place finish. But Kayla Bockel coming up with the win there for Northwest and picking up that victory there. So, as we'll hopefully they got the they're having internet connection issues for Black Squirrel, so things weren't updating quite the way they should have been. And so that's part of the reason that we got a little off with our announcing as well. And it's still a little bit of a funny issue, but we're just going to make the best of what we've got, and move on with our day is what we're going to do. So the boys 110 hurdles will be coming up next here. So we're getting ready for the boys 110 hurdle. So if I've got this correct, we should see in lane lane 4, Tanner Lehrman of Northwest. Lane 5, Vincent Ullman of Central City. Lane 3, Darian De La Garza of Crete. Lane 6 would be Braxton Neunenkamp of York. Lane 2 would be Breed Bittner of Holdridge. Lane 7, Bryce Danielson of York. Lane 1, Peyton Stein of Northwest, and Lane 8, Will Wagner of Central City. If I did that right, and it looks like I just might have. So this is the boys 110 high hurdle finals. On the track next. So again, that is Learman of Northwest in lane 4, but it's Vincent Ullman of Central City in lane 5. That's got a half-step lead on him right now. One hurdle to go, and then the dive and the sprint at the finish. Ooh, I'm not guessing on that one. That was a fine finish by Tanner Learman over that last hurdle and that last sprint at the very end and lean. I'm not guessing. Like I said, we will wait for any official results we get, because that was a really, really good race. Tanner Lehrman of Northwest and Vincent Ullman of Central City. They're 1 and 2 in some order between those two in the 110-meter hurdles. So now in the 100-meter dash for the girls, quick time in the prelims was Micah Breeze of Seward at 12.68, so she's in lane 4. In lane 5, Carson Sears of Northwest. Lane 3, Jen Adams of Northwest, lane 6. Kennedy Goldsmith of Seward, lane 2. Gabby Stump of Northwest, lane 7. Jensen Myers of Seward, lane 1. Kaylee Brandenburg of Central City, and in lane 8, Bailey Collingham of Aurora. These are the finals of the girls' 100-meter dash. Again, the prelim best mark in the prelims belonged to Micah Breeze of Seward, who ran 12.68. Carson Sears won her heat in 12.76. And Jen Adams of Northwest won her heat in 12.87. So about a tenth of a second splitting first to second, second to third. But again, those were in the prelims, and all three of those girls won their prelim fairly easily. So not necessarily pushed were the top three. So we'll see how they fare running against each other. Again, Breeze of Seward in 4, Sears of Northwest in 5, and Adams of Northwest in 3. It is Breeze out early, and now Sears trying to close that gap. But Micah Breeze of Seward jumps out to the lead early and wins it from there. Fine race by her. And Micah Breeze comes home with the victory in the 100-meter dash. So the boys' 100-meter dash is coming up next. And so they should line up something like this. The Northwest boys will be in 3, 4, and 5. That would be representative of the top 3 prelim times. Sammy Tudor in lane 4, Dylan Haynes lane 5, Mitch Canfield lane 3. Lane 6 would go to Cal Narber of Aurora. Lane 2, Kyle Seaman of Crete. Lane 7 of Levi Sabel of Aurora. Lane 1, Vince Ullman of Central City, who we just saw in the hurdles. And in lane 8 will be Hunter Persley of Aurora. The 3 Northwest boys separated by less than 0.2 of a second in their prelim race, though similar to what we just said for the girls. None of the 3 really challenged overall in their prelim.
3 Northwest, 3 Aurora.
Yeah. Jumping out, that should be Haynes actually in 5. And it is, indeed, Dylan Haynes of Northwest winning the 100, beating out his teammate Sammy Tudor, who was in lane 4, and then their other teammate, Mitch Canfield, was in lane 3. So Northwest goes 1, 2, 3 in the boys' 100-meter dash. So, 800-meter run coming up next. And I believe here in Section 1, we are scheduled to see Tara Tran of Crete, Izzy Green of Central City, Makesa Learman of Fairbury, Emerson Andelt, of Crete, Morgan Twiss of Central City, Lilybeth Estrada from Fairbury, Katie Reed of Holdridge, Jasmine Wilson of Central City, Amara Sturr of York, Anna Shobo of Fairbury, and Nevaeh Metcalf of Lakeview, scheduled to be here in the first section. Looks like we're gonna run 2 sections of the 800, and we're taking the best times to be scored anyway. And it looks to me like there are Well, I count that we should have 10. Looks like we're going to, I'm not going to guess.
Put them all together.
We could put them all together.
Let's be right on the line.
2, 4. Well, there's only 7 of them there, although they're looking back to the infield like there should be more coming out. All right, well, we're going to go with it with 7, it looks like. In the 800, you take it twice around. Katie Reed is the only Holdridge runner scheduled to be in this race, so hopefully that is her out front in this one. Fairbury's Lilybeth Estrada and York's Mara Stewart up there. Actually, Stewart is now second, Estrada third. I hope.
You know why this moves quicker than SNC?
Why? Why is that?
They didn't read.
They don't.
Off the name.
Yeah, they don't. They don't announce any names. That's true. So again, we're hoping that is Katie Reed, currently in the lead, but giving a hard chase is Mara Stewart of York. And the speed at the end, and it will be Stewart taking her heat of the 800 meters. And again, these are all run against time. I think Estrada, followed by Morgan Twiss, go 3 and 4. Creeds, Emerson, Endell coming up, and then another Fairbury runner, that would be Makasa Learman, rounding out your top 6 there. And maybe, just maybe, that's Jasmine Wilson of Central City. So the second section, This has a lot more runners. On my sheet, I have Sierra Holiday, Maddie O'Brien, Holiday of Northwest, Maddie O'Brien of Lakeview, Emily Donnell of Aurora, Aaron Lee of York, Murphy Sears of Crete, Addison Narber of Aurora, Riley Baugh of Northwest, Emma Grenfell of York, Kennedy Kreidel of Aurora, Bailey Barnett of Holdridge, Maddie Baugh of Northwest, and Anna Scholes of Seward. Again, that's just what I have on my list.
That's looking correct.
Couple of Yorks, 3 Auroras, 1 Seward, 1 Holdridge, 3 Northwest, and 1 Crete. I might go with that. That is Aaron Lee out front of the York Dukes. Aaron's got the fastest seed time coming in at 2:19 here in this 800 meters. Second fastest, there's a 2:24, Bailey Barnett of Holdridge, and a 2:24 from Riley Baugh of Northwest. So it looks like that is Barnett of Holdridge holding on to second right now as they come onto the front stretch for their first of 2 laps. Got 2 Northwest runners. Maddie Baugh of Northwest also runs a 2:26. So the Baugh girls right now looking like they are 3rd and 4th. With Aaron Lee up front. Emma Grenfell of York has joined the Baugh race for 3rd and 4th, by the way. So Emma currently 4th as they come around their last corner. This is Aaron Lee of York looking to pick up the victory in the 800. The race is behind her, though, for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th and 5th spots. All coming up right now. Holdridge's Bailey Barnett in 2nd. Here come the Northwest Baugh girls, though. Then Grenfell of York. One Baugh will beat the other. I believe, I'm not even going to guess. Barnett will finish just ahead of the Baugh girls, and then Grenfell for your top 4. Then Anna Scholes of Seward with a fine finish there to get herself into the top 5. So great runs there by those girls, and the guys 800 is on the track next. Scheduled on my sheet anyway to be here in the first of 2 sections. Devin Holliday of Fairbury, Garrett Ragland of Fairbury, Colt Bonzer of Central City, Marion Karosek of Central City, Trent Roth of Lakeview, Brandon Fulton of Crete, Zach Wrinkle of Central City, Brady Danielson of York, Jet Pettit of Holdridge, Maverick Pilikowski of Lakeview, Kyle Grotlushin of Lakeview, Reed Hoffman of York, and Jose Cardoso of Crete. scheduled to be in this one. The 2:13 flat of Trent Roth, the fastest seed time coming in. Brady Danielson of York owns a seed time of 2:14. I've always wondered why 800 gets to start with the little three-step run-up.
Check the mile might, but I don't know.
Well, the mile is like a one-step. And the 2 mile kind of, they use that waterfall start. In any event, looks like Danielson up front from York, but obviously the pack is all right there. With hip number 1 from Lakeview might be Trent Roth. He's got the top seed time at 2:13, like we said. Danielson a seed time of 2:14. And then Brandon Fulton of Crete has a seed time of 2:16. He is up there right now in somewhere between first, second, or third. And there goes Danielson with a little spurt of energy, also bringing along his teammate Reed Hoffman. So Danielson and now Hoffman is making a move on the backstretch, both ahead of Fulton of Crete. So the York runners now going 1 and 2 up front. And let's check out the final 100 meters here. Fulton of Crete jumps to the outside. Danielson, though, leads. Hoffman currently second. Here comes Fulton of Crete in the first of the 2 sections. And it will be Brady Danielson coming home with the win. Pretty close there at the line between Hoffman and Fulton, though, for second and third. So that is how the top 3 finish here in the first heat, and a second section, I guess, if you will, is on the way next. Seed times in this race range between 2 minutes to 2:12. On my sheet from Holdridge, I've got Zach Hurlbert, Trevor Alber, also from Aurora, Zach Potratz of Seward, Dalton Wick of Northwest, Ethan Bergman of Aurora, Trevor Matusek of Holdridge, Brent Hirsch of Fairbury, Cade Zumpf of York, Zach Keck of Crete, Jaden Rodenbaugh of Northwest, Grant Moody of Aurora, Goy Dual of Seward, and Mike Fisher of Northwest, scheduled to be in this race. Quick hands. Again, the fast time in seed-wise, anyway, belonging to Ethan Bergman of Aurora at a 2:04. Got Cade Zumpf of York with a 2:01, and also Grant Moody of Aurora with a 2:01. And we're off for the second section of the boys' 800-meter run.
Girls and boys 300-meter hurdle runners, please report to check-in. Girls and boys 300-meter hurdle runners, please report to check-in.
Kate Zumpf of York on the outside there. And a Fairbury runner looks like Brent Hirsch up there is your top two right now. First of two laps down. And one more time around. Boy, that pace quickens at 200 meters. Over there on the backside. And Aurora's Ethan Bergman is now in the lead. Bergman striding out down the front stretch. Bringing along Grant Moody as well for second. Bergman and then Moody. Brent Hirsch of Fairbury looking like he will be third, and then at the line, was that another Aurora runner? Trevor Albert, I think, caught up there to make it 1-2-4 for the Huskies in the 800.
Big points.
Yeah, that's big in the team points. Unfortunately, the online scoring isn't updating very well for us, so. I can tell you through 4 events, Seward had 25, as did Aurora, but we're way past 4 events scored. So hopefully at some point that will be that can kind of get fixed up a little bit, and we'll see what else transpires. So we're on the 3,200 meter or 300 hurdles, I should say. Then the 200 meter dash. And then the mile, and then the 4x1 and the 4x4, and then we can all go home. We can. While we're getting the hurdle set up, a quick break and back to Fairbury in a minute.
I never really imagined that I would be a diesel technician. I started out in a whole different other field and then kind of worked my way and stumbled my way into it, and I enjoy every day of it.
The people that I work with are great. Even if you're having a bad day, they find some way to try to make you laugh or smile, to try to brighten your day up. It'll be a life-changing opportunity. So there's a lot of good things that this company has to offer.
Seedsmanship is what truly sets Channel apart from other seed brands. It's our unmatched ability to provide you with the expert advice and customized service that helps you get the most yield out of your acres. It's the added value of year-round service combined with elite seed products that you only get from Channel. What we provide is a hands-on approach to helping you and your farming operation succeed. It's being with you on your farm, assessing your conditions, diagnosing your challenges, then recommending the best solutions specific to your needs. At Channel, it's about working with you 365 days a year to help you reach your goals. That's seedsmanship at work.
Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to Dickeys.com. So we're back here in Fairbury for the Central 10 Conference track meet. These are the 300 hurdles, and they are running them against time for the finals. A couple of Fairbury runners, as I see, Janessa Swanda in lane 5, Megan Vaughn in lane 4, and Raya Richardson of Central City in lane 3. In this, the first of 3 heats, and of course we're just taking the best times for the top 6 places for the trophies and the points to be handed out in the team race. So these 3 on the track right now, that's Swanda, then Vaughn, then Richardson. Fairbury, and Central City, the 3 runners on the track right now. And so with that, heat race number 2 scheduled to be on the way. As it stood earlier this morning at about 6:19 when these things got locked in, Mackenzie Mikowski of Central City in lane 1, Alexa Burney of Holdridge lane 2, Regan Cast of York lane 3, Bailey Moody of Aurora lane 4, Jordan Hilliard of Holdridge lane 5, Haley Fulton of Crete lane 6, Kristen Oberny of Seward lane 7, and Katrina Gomez of Central City in 8. And that does not appear to be the order on the track. So, York in 3, that's Regan Cast, I'll go with that. Bailey Moody of Aurora lane 4, I'll go with that. Holdridge lane 5, I'll go with that. Well, maybe we're just a little bit off with who's on the outside, but so far so good. Everybody up and over. Fastest seed time coming into this one belonged to Bailey Moody of Aurora in lane 4. She is currently not, however, your race leader. That would be Holdridge's Jordan Hilliard right now. 2 hurdles remaining, and this is why this one's so tough. Regan Cast of York trying to make a move on the inside of Moody in 4, and now they're both going to get by maybe at the end. Look at this sprint and the dive, and how about the win there, I believe, for Regan Cast of York. Boy, those last 2 hurdles in that sprint was a fine job by Regan, and she just might have won that heat of the 300 hurdles. So we will check out the Black Squirrel timing. We'll check out the times when all the girls have come across the line. We do have 1 section remaining. By the way, it would be of note that earlier today, barely a breath of wind was blowing from any direction. And here in the afternoon, as we've come back for this second session, it's certainly not gusting by any means, but there is a decided breeze out of the south. So if you're running on the backstretch, nice little help. Running on the front stretch, a little bit tougher. Here it is, the 3rd and final heat, the 3rd section, if you will, of the 300 hurdles finals. And the one to watch is one of the best ones in the state, Kayla Backel of Northwest High School. She is in lane 4, and it was the first one to her hurdle, and at the second hurdle has already made up the stagger on everyone. Had a seed time of 46.18. That is 3 full seconds faster than everyone else in the field by seed time coming in. The race effectively now is for second. Backel with a couple of teammates on either side of her. That is Nicole Finney in 5. And inside there for York, that is Kennedy Mogul in lane 2. So Backel easily going to win this heat, and you would think by time would have the fastest overall. Mogul there in lane 2 is second in the race, followed by a third-place finish for Nicole Finney of Northwest. And again, all of them by times. So that heat was decidedly faster than the one before it by seed times, but of course it matters what you run here today. Another quick break, and we'll come back for the guys' 300 hurdles after this. Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to Dickies.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickies Barbecue today and log on to Dickies.com. Kids eat free on Sundays.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
So we're back now for the first of three sections for the boys' 300 hurdles, beginning there on the back. As I see it on my sheet, we've got Jacob Frenzen of Lakeview in 1, Nick Hutzel of Aurora in 2, Dylan Weichel of Fairbury in 3, Elijah Smith of Seward in 4, Peyton Stein of Northwest in 5, Dalton Harrell of Holdridge in 6, Colton Stark of Fairbury in 7, and Lance Dibdahl of Seward in 8. Maybe, sorta?
Yeah.
Not bad. And I see a Seward Blue Jay right now in the lead, and that is Elijah Smith. On his inside is Lakeview's Jacob Frenzen. So again, these are all based on time. But this is Frenzen going to run a really good time no matter what. And Elijah Smith of Seward is going to be right up there as well. So fine job, though, by Jacob Frenzen of Lakeview. Boy, he had a seed time of 50.5. And while I have no access to a clock here, but that seemed decidedly faster than 50.5 that he just ran. So that'll bring us to the second section. Aaron Drews of Holdridge in 1, Braxton Newnenkamp of York in 2, Kyle Goodwin of Holdridge in 3, Will Wagner of Central City in 4, Trevin Likens of Fairbury in 5, Toby Watson of Northwest in 6, Rams Adendini of Crete in 7, and Dylan Hesacker of Lakeview in 8. That is Wagner of Central City in the green with the white tights that has come out fairly good early on. And now Holdridge's Kyle Goodwin in the purple uniform has made a nice move on the inside. Also, how about there in lane 1, Aaron Drews of Holdridge, also running pretty well. But check out lane 3, Kyle Goodwin of Holdridge, your race leader with 2 hurdles to go. And now the race in the middle. Here comes Fairbury's Trevin Likens trying to make a move at the end. The race will be won by Kyle Goodwin of Holdridge, though. So, again, these are the finals races. They're all sorted by time when everyone is in. So that is the second fastest seeds that were all in that race. And now we get to the fastest seeds here in the third and final heat. In lane 1, Darian De La Garza of Crete. Lane 2, Blake Sears of Crete. Lane 3, Reed Houchin of York. Lane 4, Tanner Learman of Northwest. Lane 5, Vincent Ullman of Central City. Learman and Ullman went 1-2, and we never did get the official order in the 110 hurdles. So expecting this one to be a good race as well. In lane 6, Austin Marrer of Lakeview. In lane 7, Bryce Danielson of York. And Cade Morale of Aurora in lane 8. Lane 4 is Learman from Northwest, and lane 5 is Ullman from Central City. Learman with a great start so far. Oh, and just a little stumble there from Danielson of York. Or excuse me, that's Houchin. I'm sorry, that's Houchin on the inside in 3. He had a little stumble, but has recovered nicely, and he is right there with Learman. And check out in lane 1, De La Garza of Crete. Learman in lane 5 from Northwest. Oh, he got over that one quickly, and that second-to-last hurdle was a big sprint boost, and Tanner Learman is going to be the race winner in this third heat of the 300-meter hurdles, the Central 10 Conference. That second-to-last hurdle, boy, Learman comes off of that hurdle and accelerates, and you could just see him pull away right there. Fine job, and a victory, it would appear, for Tanner Learman of Northwest in the 300 hurdles.
Excuse me. 200-meter finals, and then the mile.
The 200, the mile, the 4x1, the 4x4. By the way, someone in the press box has Beverly Hills Cop as their ringtone, and it's awesome. So the 200-meter dash finals. Let's look. Oh, we do have some qualifiers. So we can tell you that in this girls' race in lane 4 should be Mika Breeze of Seward. Lane 5, Carson Sears of Northwest. Lane 3, Abby Allen of Crete. Lane 6, Kaylee Brandenburg of Central City. Lane 2, J.C. Pfeiffer of Holdridge. Lane 7, Triana Hughes of Northwest. Lane 1, Maya Nautical of Aurora. And in lane 8, Kennedy Goldsmith of Seward. Maybe they are starting to get some of these. Well, maybe not. So I'm getting that by the prelims, of course. But better than not having it. So I'll take it. Breeze would have won the overall prelims by almost a full second. So over Carson Sears. Now, Carson wasn't really pushed in her heat race either. In fact, second place was Triana Hughes of Northwest in that race, and she was a full 1.7 seconds behind.
Finalists, please report ASAP to the check-in. Start box. Thank you.
Everyone getting their block set across the way. Timing systems making sure they're back and ready to go. $200-meter dash finals. Let's check them out. Breeze of Seward in 4 and Sears of Northwest in 5. This should be fun down the stretch. That is Breeze in the blue. And it is Mika Breeze breezing through the competition.
Dalton Buxton, please report to Mr. Vedder. Dalton Buxton, please report to Mr. Vedder.
She's fast because that, I tell you, Carson Sears is not slow by any means. Good night, Mika Breeze. Let's jot that name down for state track. I think that one could be one to watch. So the boys 200-meter dash, as they qualified, Sammy Tudor should be in 4, Trent Kaler of York in 5, Peyton Schmalls of Holdridge in 3, Levi Sabell of Aurora in 6, Alex Wells of Holdridge in lane 2, Hunter Holliday of Aurora in lane 7, Cordell Hamer of Central City in lane 1, and Logan Craig of Seward in lane 8. Coming up after this, the mile run, and then the 4x1 relay and the 4x4 relay to wrap up the Central 10 Conference track meet here in Fairbury.
Second call, girls and boys, 1,600-meter run.
So checking this one out. How about York's Trent Kaler with a nice run to the corner. And now for the home stretch. Again, a little bit into the wind. Kaler looking strong, though. And Trent Kaler, who won the triple jump and the long jump earlier today, wins the 200. And you can see Sam Tudor is like, man, I ran really fast and didn't win this race. And that happens sometimes there, Sam. Trent had a prelim time earlier today of 24:02, and Sam ran 23:99. Sam might have ran 23:99 again, but I guarantee you Trent went a little bit faster than that. So we are on to the mile, where I think we are going to see just one section. Yeah, one section. Well, on the schedule they have 2, but let's see what they do here, because they've only got one listed. And the schedule that we got had been sent to us earlier this week, I should say.
The way everything else has changed.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
We could. I could go run the girls' race right now, and it would be less shocking than anything else that might happen. Aaron Lee owns the fastest seed time of the 1,600-meter runners, 4:56. 4:56 usually gets you a place in some guys' races.
Yeah.
That's moving. Jonna Bart of Aurora has a seed time of 5:23, to put that in perspective. So just about 30 seconds of seed time separating the top 2. And we might have all the girls out there.
I don't see any lined up to come back.
Yeah, I don't see any more on the infield that would be ready to go. So it looks like we should see Aaron Lee of York, Jonna Bart of Aurora, Murphy Sears of Crete. I think we said those names. I think it was Julia Lee in the 3,200, but there is Julia, the 4th best seed time of York. Emily Donnell of Aurora, Bailey Barnett of Holdridge, Abby Caples of Lakeview, Makasa Learman of Fairbury, Maria Garcia of Crete, Kylie Broich of Northwest, Macy Spatansky of Seward, Shay Stahl of Fairbury, Julia Wilkinson of Aurora, Lilibeth Estrada of Fairbury, Maddie Hoagland of Lakeview, Jenny Domingo of Schuyler, Kaylee Pekarik of Seward, and Alyssa Wilshusen of Central City. We are here in the mile for the girls of the Central 10 Conference. putting some cones down around the track there in looks like it's like on the inside of the 5th lane to kind of separate the two flights, if you will, out there, and then they can cut across, or cut down, I should say, across the way after that first 100 meters or so. So it looks like everyone is ready to go now. They do it with the mile too. How about that? The little 3-step little mini start and then the real start. If I told you that after the first 120 meters that Aaron Lee and Jonna Bart were 1 and 2 in the mile, you would not be enough to fall out of your chair, but they are just that, 1 and 2, as they head down the backstretch. That is Julia Lee, Aaron's younger sister, that is currently 3rd, and she is bringing along Emily Donnell of Aurora, currently in 4th. So those top 4 already with a little separation between themselves and the rest of the pack. 4 times around for the mile, or 1,600 meters, as it were. Aaron cruised earlier in the 800. Julia winning the 3,200 earlier today. Aaron Lee looking good up front right now for the York Dukes. Jonna Bart running in 2nd. That is what's that?
I should have started.
Oh, yeah. What am I doing? Like I don't have the technology to just start my own timer.
That's multitasking.
Well,
That's hard to do.
like this is real tough to announce anyway. There.
Yes, today.
Well, today has been a little more difficult than other times. I will give you that. How about we give you the last lap time?
There we go.
Aaron Lee on the backstretch there has 300 meters left in her 3rd lap. Jonna Bart is currently 2nd. Julia Lee 3rd. And Emily Donnell of Aurora currently 4th.
Space in between.
There is a gap. Aaron looks like she just might run all the way back to York and then call that a workout day. Getting the guys ready to go for their mile, which will be coming up next. This is, by the way, the final individual events of the day. Then you've got the 4x1 relay and the 4x4 relay. And we will be all said and done from the Central Conference track meet here in Fairbury. By the way, my hat is tipped to those here at Fairbury who put this together. And, of course, I am talking and I don't get my stopwatch started. Oh, jeez. I'll just hit reset. Well, let's check there. We'll get Jonna's last lap time. My hat tipped to those who put the funds together to build the stands and press box and the concession area and the entrance to the football field here at Fairbury. I understand that happened around 2009, and the track got put in just a few years ago. Outstanding facility, and air conditioned in here. So Taylor and I, we really appreciate that. But I'm sure serves the community of Fairbury very, very well. And I tell you, you don't go to very many high school tracks that have a concourse area, below their initial section in their press box. Here comes Erin Lee down the front stretch. Erin will pick up the win in the mile to go along with her win in the 800 meters as well. So Erin is going to win this event by almost 100 meters. What a race there by Erin Lee. Jonna Bart is going to come home in second. And Julia Lee will finish in third. She's still got 80 meters to go, and then it will be a race for third as Bart just crosses. That last lap for Jonna was about 1:25. Julia Lee going to finish in second. It will be Emily Donnell of Aurora in third, followed by Fairbury's Makaisa Learman. Then Lakeview with Abby Caples. And then Northwest with Kylie Broich coming up with that with a place there. Broich will be seventh. So that's the girls' mile as the final girls come across the line. Maddie Hoagland of Lakeview. Lilibeth Estrada of Fairbury. And coming up here shortly will be Kaylee Pekarik of Seward. So we will get a stopwatch on the last guys here for the mile, which is coming up next. Scheduled to be in this race, Ethan Bergman has the top seed time at 4:35. Also Trent Anderson of Holdridge, Grant Moody of Aurora, Jeb Lucas of York, Drew Hoffman of York, Trevor Matusek of Holdridge, Patrick Ondrak of Fairbury, Goy Dual of Seward, Zach Urkoski of Seward. Also, Luke Stuckey of York, Tyler Peterson of Holdridge, Chris Roseland of Northwest, Evan Mittenbrink of Seward, Cody Zaroost of Schuyler, Daniel Ortiz of Crete, Landon Vogt of Lakeview, Carl Proctor of Crete, Drew Shad of Lakeview, Brandon Wilkinson of Aurora, Maverick Pilikowski of Lakeview, Jesse Bites of Crete, Jonathan Engelman of Fairbury, Jackson Foyt of Northwest, Braden Graham of Fairbury, Colt Bonzer of Central City, Mikey Brown of Central City. We are just about ready for the start of the boys' mile at the Central 10 Conference track meet. So we'll get a stopwatch on this one this time. Checking out our official starter all the way down at the far end of the track. And off we go. Bergman, like we said, with a seed time of 4:35. Then you've got Anderson of Holdridge with a 4:44. Moody of 4:45. Jeb Lucas of York with a 4:45. Drew Hoffman of York with a 4:46. So some good times at the top of this mile run for the boys. That is Ethan Bergman that is leading right now, leading that pack as they go through 3 and 4. Jeb Lucas and Drew Hoffman up there towards the front for York. See just a gaggle of legs up there at the end of the first lap, and they come through at about 1:09 there for those first guys. Now beginning to spread out just a touch. And Drew Hoffman making a little bit of a move on the backstretch there. Again, when we said earlier that the wind had kind of picked up out of the south, it has gone almost dead calm again. Not that it was a breeze or even a gust even on the backstretch, but it was just enough to kind of move the air. And, well, right now it's barely enough to make the wind blow your face or blow the hair out of your face. At this point, it's very, very still right now here in Fairbury. But Bergman's still leading. Hoffman just on his shoulder. Then on his outside is Jeb Lucas of York. Holdridge's Trevor Matusek is up there, along with Northwest Chris Roseland. Your top five as Hoffman sneaks into the lead, about 2:22 as they cross the line for the second lap. The York boys up front, 1 and 2. Drew Hoffman, Jeb Lucas. They had seed times within a half second of each other. And so they're kind of alternating back and forth who wins or who's in the lead at the race at the time you look up at them. Right now, it's Jeb Lucas. Drew, a little bit taller with the darker hair of the two. Aurora's Ethan Bergman leading that second group, along with Holdridge's Trent Anderson. And Northwest's Chris Roseland. 1 to go. Gun lap at 3:36. So we're coming to the end of the mile, and it looks like York is going to go 1 and 2. It's a matter of who's going to beat whom. Drew Hoffman right now in the lead, getting pushed by Jeb Lucas as Hoffman begins to stride out on the front stretch. Lucas giving chase, the teammates. Who wants the gold? Lucas catches and passes Hoffman right towards the end. So Jeb Lucas with the win. Hoffman second. And how about this sprint? Who is that coming up? Luke Stuckey makes it a 1-2-3 Duke finish in the mile as he sprinted past Grant Moody of Aurora, Ethan Bergman of Aurora at the end there. But I tell you what, Stuckey came in with a seed time of 4:54, and he just ended up third. His seed time would have put him 10th. So a big finish from Stuckey, who won the 2-mile earlier today. And obviously he likes the warmer weather. Not too many distance people do, but he finds it to be just fine for him. And so the Dukes of York go 1-2-3 in the mile. And that will bring us, coming up shortly, to our second to last event of the day, and that will be the 4x100 relay. We do have one runner still, or two runners, still on the track for the mile. Colt Bonser and Mikey Brown still out there for Central City. So that is Colt coming down the finish line here next, followed by Mikey. And it looks like we're going to have one heat of the girls and one heat of the boys for the 4x1. We'll have 2 heats for the girls 4x4 and 2 heats for the boys 4x4. But first, the 4x1 for the girls. In lane 1 will be Fairbury, lane 2 Aurora, lane 3 Crete, lane 4 Northwest, lane 5 Seward, lane 6 Holdridge, and lane 7 Central City. And it looks like they've also called the boys out there onto the track.
Oh, they'll all walk.
Oh, they'll all walk to the spots. I got you.
We're shutting down the second camera.
Second camera is going away.
All on me.
So it's just Taylor the rest of the way. Hopefully with the 2-camera setup, we were able to cover the vast majority. Yeah. We hopefully we get the vast majority. It's tough to try to do that, but you get the sense anyway. You can kind of follow along, and hopefully, obviously I had plenty of races where I didn't know who I was talking about, but hopefully on some of those distance ones, I had a little better idea. I guess I can stop that.
Let's go to one last break.
One last break? Yeah, we could do that while they're getting set up for the 4x1 relays. We will be back for the final couple races at the Central 10 Conference Track Meet.
The trucking industry is always growing. Everything basically anymore moves by truck. If it's anything you touch on a daily basis, at one point in time, it's probably been on a truck. So that's why we're here. It's always, we're always busy because trucks go down, we have to get them back up, so things are moving.
It's a great industry. There's a lot of good people in this industry, whether we're talking about the employees that work here at this dealership. Our customers are some of the greatest people you ever meet. They're hardworking, very smart, very business oriented, and they are the backbone of this country. And they just, they make the world go round,
The trucking industry continues to grow. Every time somebody is grabbing something off the shelf, our industry continues to grow, and trucks are rolling around the clock, and that's our job. We've got to continue to keep them rolling as well.
Everybody else is going to say the same thing, but until you experience it, it's a really rewarding place to work. Great people again, great management, great ownership, and Freightliner is a leader in this industry.
Yeah, I get it. For the little things. Technology's great. It makes things easier. It's faster. We can get things done wherever we go. And we get all that from our bank. It works for us. But for the bigger things, the things that really count, I still want to talk to the people I know and trust. That's why I'm here.
Home-cooked favorites and online ordering so you can skip the line. That's what you'll find at Dickey's Barbecue in York. Log on to Dickeys.com, select the York address, sign in, or create a profile, and you'll be ordering delicious barbecue in just seconds. Choose from a variety of meats like brisket, pulled pork, chicken breast, or sausage. Add a home-style side like waffle iron fries, fried onion tanglers, barbecue beans, and even fried okra. You won't go away hungry. Try Dickey's Barbecue today and log on to Dickeys.com. Kids eat free on Sundays. Fairbury in 1, Aurora in 2, Crete in 3, Northwest in 4, Seward in 5, Holdridge in 6, and Central City in 7. This is the girls 4x100-meter relay. And this is the finals, and this is the second-to-last event of the afternoon here for the Central 10 Conference track meet at Fairbury High School. Thanks for all of you who have tuned in today. Hopefully we have brought a little bit of excitement to your Saturday afternoon. All of the exchange zones are checking in as ready to go. And the first runners settle into their blocks. Looks like we've got lane 3 open, so no Crete in this race. Fairbury in 1 and Aurora in 2. Keep an eye on lane 4 on the backstretch there. That is Northwest. That is closing quickly on Seward. A little slow with the handoff. Not too bad. Northwest had one of the top times in the central Nebraska region, regardless of class, before the Riverside girls set a Class D record a couple weeks ago in Grand Island, and now that is Northwest. And look at Seward with Micah Brees coming back. Wow. I tell you what, if that's a 200-meter race, Brees gets her. And if it's 150 meters, she might have got her. But that last leg, that was incredible. Micah Brees, yes, let's definitely write her name down for state track. She is going to be fun to watch. But it was Northwest, Carson Sears on the anchor leg, that does pick up the win. Again, they had the number 1 seed time, and they proved that again. And so the Northwest girls taking on the 4x100 relay, and that will bring us to the guys. Coming up next, we will see Fairbury in lane 1, Central City lane 2, Aurora in lane 3, Northwest in 4, a seed time of 44.05, Holdridge in lane 5, a seed time of 44.89. So within a second for those two. Then Crete in 6, Schuyler in 7, and Seward in 8.
Exchange zone 1, are you ready? Exchange zone 2 is ready.
Exchange zone 3 is ready. So that means we're ready to go. See if we can get some times on this, unofficially, of course. Northwest in lane 4 has already made up the stagger. Going down the backstretch, that should be Dylan Haynes for the Vikings. About to hand it off to Austin Cooper. Austin takes his start. And Cooper and the Vikings up front in this one. Holdridge making a little run. They're on the outside in 5. And Sammy Tudor to take the handoff. And here comes Grand Island Northwest. The Vikings with a 4x1 victory. Very, very unofficially at 43.82. Well, that might not be too far off. The seed time 44.05. Of course, I'm in a press box and I'm looking for smoke, but, I've timed worse than that, like the time I forgot to start it. But still a fine job there by the Northwest Vikings. They come home with the victory in the 4x1 relay, and so we are on to our final event of the day. It is the 4x400 relay, or the 1600 relay, however you like to say it. Looks like they are scheduling 2 heats for the girls and 2 heats for the boys as well. So here in the first heat race, by time for the girls, we will have Columbus Lakeview, Central City, and Fairbury. So again, the 4x4, the first leg has to run in their lane all the way around. And then the second leg runs in their lane through the first 100 meters, and then everyone can cut in on the backside. Fairbury in 5, Central City in 4, and Lakeview in 3. Maddie O'Brien with a carry for Lakeview right now, Kaylee Eberly for Central City, and Hannah Yance for Fairbury this first time around. According to the seed sheet, by the way. Really strong run here by Maddie O'Brien. So Lakeview now with Ariana Valdez on the carry. Central City currently second with Jasmine Wilson and Joy Ondrak for Fairbury. Your 3 schools on the track right now. We do have a second heat race coming up next. That second lap for Lakeview going at about 1:08. And now on the carry for Lakeview goes Tabitha Nelson. For Central City, Morgan Twiss. And for Fairbury, Mara Schumard.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I don't know what. It's been really spotty for us. So I don't know if they're having problems now for getting it.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
So it's not just us.
No.
They really are having no printed results either. Okay. So, well, everyone's on the same page, which is, like page 2.
We'll try to get them up on the site.
Yeah. As soon as, recordings of all the races will be up on this post on StriveSports.com either later tonight or tomorrow. And we'll get any of the results that they get out there. We will put those on there as well. Lakeview about to hand off for the final time. That third lap there at about 1:13. So Lakeview now with Sierra Hesacker, and Central City with Kylie Baumsberger, and Fairbury running with Emily Berkeley on the track. So this is the first of 2 heats for the 4x4 relay, and that is Sierra Hesacker of Columbus Lakeview on the final leg for her team. The sprint here between Central City and Fairbury. For Central City, that's Baumsberger. For Fairbury, it's Berkeley. It looks like Baumsberger will get them at the line. So a nice finish to that race for those teams, and that will bring us to the final girls event of the day. No idea what the team standings are. Would love to pass that on. And with the scoring situation the way it's been, if I had to guess, I'd say that York is doing pretty well, and Northwest has done very well. Seward, I would say Seward in third, and I'd say either Northwest or York in the team race lead. I think for the boys, I think it's York going away. There's been a lot of victories for the Dukes. Trent Kaler won the 200, the long jump, and the triple jump by himself. They go 1, 2, 3 in the mile, do the Dukes. So obviously plenty of racing to do, or plenty of other events, but boy, a lot of points picked up by the Dukes in some of the track events a little earlier this afternoon. So now the final event for our final race for the girls will be the 4x4 relay, and this is the second heat. We'll see Crete in lane 2, Holdridge lane 3, Grand Island Northwest in 4, Aurora in 5, York in 6, and Seward in 7. Well, there you can see it. If you follow York, Duke, T, and F on Twitter, or if you follow us, now we just retweeted that one too, and also it's got the retweets for the York girls and the Lee girls, Aaron and Julia, go first and third in the mile earlier this afternoon. And off and running. And again, I forget to start my stopwatch on the 4x4. That is Emma Grenfell for York there on the backstretch, the first carry. Or at least it's scheduled to be Emma. And that does look like her on that first leg. So a good, strong start here for the Dukes. Here comes Northwest and Aurora and Holdridge all together. Northwest, the fastest seed time at 4:10 coming into this race. Aurora with a 4:13. York and Northwest essentially tied when you factor in the stagger. At the handoff, for Northwest, that's Taryn Mayfield with it, and for York, Lauren Riley. For Aurora, who's making their charge, it comes Emily Standage, and there goes Emily Standage, not standing around at all, but moving her way not just to second, but looking for first as she goes by Lauren Riley there with about 200 meters to go. So Emily Standage, really nice second leg for the Aurora Huskies. And here comes Northwest with Taryn Mayfield about to hand off. Also, York still up there in third. Lauren Riley handing it off to Julia Lee now. But that is Aurora that is up front right now. Maya Nautigal is up there. Kennedy Kreidel will be on their last leg. Here comes Northwest. Nautigal trying to move up. Riley Baugh will be on the final leg for the Vikings. Holdridge beginning to creep up a little bit on York now. Julia Lee on the carry currently for the Dukes. Aurora with the lead, Nautigal, but she's going to have her lead shrunk significantly by Maddie Baugh of Northwest. So Aurora does take the lead to start the final lap, but here comes Riley Baugh of Northwest to track down Kennedy Kreidel of Aurora, and she does it in the first 50 meters. Boy, that Baugh girl's good. She should run track. Over there on the last leg for York is Kennedy Mogul. Holdridge with the carry by Bailey Barnett. This looks like Grand Island Northwest and Riley Baugh to come up with a victory. And look at, that's Erin Lee is who is running that last leg for York, and she is going to end up second. So a great job by Northwest to come up with a victory, and York will come home in second after a great final leg there by Erin Lee. Holdridge will finish in fourth. Here comes Seward in fifth, Crete in sixth. So the girls' track is said and done, and we will be on to the final two races for the guys coming up.
At the conclusion of today's track meet, please be patient with us as we await results in the press box.
They ask for patience and results in the press box. Black Squirrel hasn't gotten anything, whether it's been online, which is where we're looking, or even to be able to be printed, we understand, down in their tent. So after this one's over, well, Taylor and I might be getting on here, but everyone else should just take a deep breath and perhaps make a Pizza Hut run for a slice of cheese pizza. First of two heat races for the boys 4x400 relay. In this first heat, we will see Fairbury in lane 4, Seward in 5, and Central City in 6. Fairbury with Damian Green, Braden Graham, Brandon Hendricks, and Jeremiah Gray. Seward with Parks Kesselring, Bailey Sloan, Goy Dual, and Logan Craig. And Central City with Will Wagner, Cole McReynolds, Zach Rinkle, and Cordell Hamer. Fastest seed time is Seward with a 3:51. To put it in perspective, fastest seed time in the second section is Grand Island Northwest with a 3:33. Off and running for the second to last race of the day. Central City running with Will Wagner, Seward with Parks Kesselring, and Fairbury with Damian Green to start things off, at least on the seed sheet that I have, it's been right as much as it's been wrong today. So 50-50 shots on some of these guys. Seward up front, though, with Kesselring. Blue Jays set to hand it off to Bailey Sloan. Fairbury now being carried by Braden Graham and Cole McReynolds for Central City. Bailey Sloan with a nice leg for the Seward Blue Jays and about to hand off to Agoy Dual. So there goes Goy, and he's about to hand off to Logan Craig for the Blue Jays for their final leg. Central City will get the carry from Cordell Hamer. And Fairbury will have their last leg be with Jeremiah Gray. Great final run here by Seward's Logan Craig. Again, these are all run on time, these two heats. So really nice finish there by Craig. And Cordell Hamer for Central City as well. He had a nice, strong last lap as well. Fairbury will wrap things up with Jeremiah Gray, and we'll be ready for the final race of the day. Columbus Lakeview will be running in Lane 2, Schuyler, Lane 3, Aurora, Lane 4, Northwest, Lane 5, York, Lane 6, Holdridge, Lane 7, and Crete in Lane 8. Again, we'd like to say a big thank you to Cornerstone Bank, Truck Center Companies, Dickey's Barbecue in York, and Channel Seed, Nebraska. Very proud sponsors on StriveSports.com, and they make it possible for us to come out and do fun stuff like this and stream from the track meets. We were at the SNC track meets in Henderson on Monday. Here we are in Fairbury, and now next week we'll take off for state soccer. We will be the production element for the NSAA for the semifinals again. They're Friday night and all day on Saturday up in Omaha. And then the following week, we'll have, actually, before that, we'll have some district track that we'll go do some updates and some tweets from in the middle of next week. That state track is the week after that, back at Burke Stadium in Omaha. Got some state golf after that. We'll be traversing the state for a couple of those days. A lot of pictures, a lot of tweets, We could periscope some golf.
No, that's illegal.
That's illegal? Well, yeah, that's true.
State.
We shouldn't do that. I could periscope myself talking about the golf.
We could Snapchat.
We could snap it.
It could be Ricky Fowler.
Ricky Fowler, Spring Break 16.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that's what the Snapchat account may be like. First date golf.
Some barefoot golf.
Barefoot golf. Speaking of that, did you hear Jordan Spieth's imitation of David Fairbury?
I think I have.
Spot on. Absolutely spot on. All right, back to the serious stuff. The final race of the day, the 4x400 relay for the boys of the Central 10 Conference. The final race is in the blocks.
Someone's missing.
Well, I want to know who's in 2.
Skylar.
Okay, then who's in 1? Is York in 6? Yeah, York's in 6. Northwest in 5. Aurora.
Skylar. Crete.
Crete is in 2. Well, Crete, you should be in 8. What are you doing in 2?
No one's in 1.
No one's in 1. Well, that's what I had. But I had Lakeview being in 2. Is Lakeview out there? Or are they in 8? Lakeview, no, Lakeview's in 8. Okay. Like, Crete and Lakeview for some reason switched. Okay. So as they collapse down, it looks like it will be the York Dukes with Brett Novak on the carry. Out in the lead, here comes Holdridge making a run with Preston Melroy as he moves up into second. Currently third is Northwest. They've got Jaden Rodenbaugh on their carry. And Schuyler getting a heck of a run from Jackson Settles as he tries to move up in the pack. Henry Penner running currently for Aurora. But this is York up front. Tegan Thorell taking the handoff. Oh, by the way, they've got Cade Zumpf, who's won a couple of races today for the Dukes, on their anchor leg. Holdridge in Northwest on the backstretch. Holdridge in the purple. That's Charles Weed in the second spot right now. And for Northwest, that's, it's scheduled to be Tanner Learman. That doesn't look like Tanner. I think he's a little taller than that. In any event, it's a good final kick here for the Vikings.
Snodgrass.
Is that a Snodgrass running for York? That would indeed be the case. And here comes Northwest all the way back. So the handoffs happen at the same time. Here's the final 400 meters between York and Northwest.
Could be big points here.
This could be very interesting. Zumpf and King, if my names are right, on to the final stretch.
That's Kaler.
Is it Trent Kaler?
Yep.
All right, then. We'll go with Kaler on the anchor for the Dukes. And, boy, that's a nice stride he's got. And he is going to come home with his 4th gold medal for Trent Kaler on the day to go along with the long jump, triple jump, and 200 meters. He's also going to bring home the 4x4 for the Dukes. Holdridge 3rd, Schuyler 4th, Aurora 5th, Lakeview 6th, and Crete 7th as they finish up this race here today. And so that is going to do it for the racing today. Again, we apologize that we couldn't keep up with the scoring of everything. Black Squirrel Timing has had some issues today, so trust me, no one here at the track meet really knows what's going on unless you're one of those coaches that keeps track of every single event, whether you have kids in it or not. Those coaches might have an idea, but I can tell you this. It was a fine day to be a Northwest Viking girl, a York Duke boy, and the Northwest boys. All had really good days. So when we get the final standings and the final results, we will sure pass those on our website, strivesports.com. That's the post that you're watching right now, in fact, as well. So keep an eye on that. We will also have a replay. If you missed the races at all throughout the afternoon, we'll have the replays up either later tonight or tomorrow, also on this post on strivesports.com. With that, I think we can just about say goodbye from the Central 10 Conference track meet here in Fairbury. The Jeffs have been very gracious hosts to put Taylor and I up in the press box today, and we do greatly appreciate that. So for that, we will say so long from Fairbury.